Hello, hello. Greetings, greetings. Welcome to Blessed Girl TV. We are excited today. We have a special broadcast as we are kicking off. It's really Earth Month, if you will, right? And of those that are following, and if you are connected to Blessed Girls, and we know we have our climate change champions, they'll say, listen, it's Earth Day every day. But my name is Dr. Anana, the founder of Blessed Girls Global, the Four C's Youth Civility program, clubs, curriculum, and all things advocacy for young people. And I wanted to welcome you today to Blessed Girls Youth Civility Global Earth Day celebration. And the theme is planet versus plastics. Y'all ready? I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued. As a youth advocate and the founder of Blessed Girls, I am thrilled to open this event today. And as we continue our work in fostering youth civility, but also addressing the urgent challenges of climate change. And I say urgent. I remember our first Earth Day celebration, and even as we write in our Four C's books, it's like the roof is on fire and nobody knows. Like everybody else is in the house just having a good time, and there's a fire going on right above you. So there's this sense of urgency that we hope that from spending the time with us today, you'll learn and you'll make some changes. Right. So together we gather not only just to celebrate Earth Day, but to also ignite meaningful conversations. We want to inspire action. All right. If you're watching, listen, action. You're going to take action. All right. Today and moving forward. And more importantly, just to empower each of us to make a positive impact on the planet. We only got one. This is it. So our world is at a real crucial point where the choices we make today will profoundly influence our future. And so, by coming together as a community of change makers, we know that we can drive meaningful change. And that's what our four C's, when we talk about civility, climate justice is so important. And then we speak about community. And I know we have all our community enthusiasts there, and then even creativity. So today we have some creative art on the topic of climate change, of planet versus plastic. And so we're going to have a good time. So as you come in, please say hello. Tell us where you're watching from, city, state, country, region. We would love to know who we're connecting with and who we're talking to, right? But again, our goal is to create sustainable change, create a brighter future, and a greener future for the generations to come. Right. So throughout this event, I want you to engage. I want you to comment, talk, like, and share the broadcast as we really explore innovative solutions. We can talk about the problems, we can see the problems, but let's talk about solutions on how we can collaborate and do what? Take action. Take action. So, again, I invite you to actively participate, share your insights. Join with us today as we make our climate a priority, as we talk about being good stewards and understanding the social responsibility. And more importantly, we are here with Blessed Girls to empower our youth. All right. So, think about it. Get your pen and paper if you need. I'm going to be taking notes, and I'm going to get right out the way. So I wanted to introduce our climate change champion, this amazing young lady. I'm gonna soon she will be Dr. Nadia Ali. If I'm letting the cat out the bag, but just an amazing author, student, activist, a lover of people in that regard. And she's been with Blessed Girls for a few years now. And so I'm grateful to have her today to be the host and really facilitating this dialogue today. So I will bring her up. Miss Nadia, you there?
Yes, I'm here, Dr. Nana.
Well, welcome, welcome. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, Dr. Nana?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm excited. I'm excited to learn. I got my pen and paper. I'm ready to go. I'm always learning from you all, amazing young people today. And what's unique about today, Nadia, is that we have some fellas on the line. Isn't that good? It's usually the girls, blessed girls. A lot of times it's the girls, but we also have blessed guys. We have
I was
guys
gonna,
that are
I was
part of
just gonna
this.
point that out. I was just gonna point it out. The more the merrier, as we always say. The more the merrier. So I'm so excited.
Yeah, so this is exciting and unique for us as we continue on this journey of youth civility. And of course, today, climate change and climate civility. All right, so I'll turn it over to you. Let's
Thank you.
go.
Hi, everybody. Greetings, greetings, greetings to you all. And thank you, Dr. Renata, for that really good introduction. For those of you who don't know me, I'm like a blessed girl of this organization for like the past 2 to 3 years. It's been my absolute pleasure being here. I've learned so much, I've grown so much, I've evolved so much. And most importantly, I've been given the opportunity to do, what I want to do and advocate for what something that is really meaningful. So it is my pleasure to extend my warmest welcome to you all, listening from wherever you are. I know we have some North Americans and some South Americans and Africans, and from just wherever you are, welcome. So, in honor of Earth Day 2024, Bless Girls is just pleased to present to you this program under the theme Planet versus Plastics, which is the original and official theme for this year. And this theme is relentless in its aim to, decrease the use of plastics as much as possible so that we can save the planet from further harm. As we know, the planet is under a really threatening condition right now because we've been facing threats for like so many climatic issues, and it's coming to a point where it's like a dead end. And if we don't take action now, then we can end up falling in the pit, and we don't want that, of course. So, just a bit of a brief history of um Earth Day. Earth Day is actually held annually each year, like on the 22nd of April. However, this is like a pre program. We try to accommodate everybody as much as possible. So, Earth Day was first celebrated in the year 1970, and this was executed in the United States by the then Senator Gaylord Nelson, and he was from Wisconsin. His aim was to primarily spread awareness about environmentalism. And ever since that takeoff, that initiative has been so successful to the point where it has evolved into a global celebration. So, right now we have Earth Day celebrated each year on the 22nd, and it's literally like one of the most heartwarming thing ever, knowing that so many people are actually participating and so many people are actually contributing to making the world a better place. So right now we have over 193 countries actually being a part of the Earth Day celebration, where it initially started as one single person. So there's some hope from that. um, while Earth Day is celebrated on the 22nd of April each year, I just want to encourage you to not only honor this observation only today, only in April 22nd, every year. I want every day to be Earth Day. And as Dr. Nana said, she knew I would have quoted this because I think Earth Day should be every single day, not just one day. So let's honor this observation, not just today, but every single day. Um, we know that with every passing year, every passing month, every passing day, every passing hour, our Earth is getting more and more deplorable. So we need to strive to the best of our ability at the earliest time possible to get this fixed. So as we all know, there has been news circulating all the time. How many times you open, Facebook or Instagram or Twitter, and you see something like there are floods, there are earthquakes, there are like hurricanes, there are wildfires. How many times? I guess you guys have seen this like more times than you've ever blinked, and it's getting worse with each passing year. Like right now, I have been reading on a recent study that had shown the increase in global concentrations of the gases that were carbon dioxide and methane, which are major heat trapping gases. These gases trap heat, like so much heat into the air. And in 2023, those were like the major gases in the air, and it was in like it was like in a surmountably large amount. And I think that personally is really crazy. So we can see what's happening around, and we can see that we're the reason for this because so many factories and so many productions and so many emissions are happening because of us humans. So I'd like to encourage us to, you know, reduce our carbon footprint to the best of ability because I think that is the most crucial thing in combating the climatic change. So for those people who don't know, the carbon footprint is basically the amount of like greenhouse gases that is emitted into the air as a result of things we do. So we use like we have a private vehicles that's obviously going to emit gases into the air. We have our appliances. If we leave them plugged in, that is like using a lot of energy. We also like take part in a bunch of energy consumption, and we buy and eat a lot of fast food, obviously which are processed. So anything that is basically manufactured in like factories are harmful, and we just enjoy it all the time. So how can you contribute to Earth Day? Well, there are a bunch of things that you can do, but I think the prime thing is never stop seeking knowledge. If we were to ask many people, if we're to go around and ask like a bunch of random people, what is climate change, what is sustainability, what is sustainable development, a lot of people don't know, and I think that is the driving force of our situation, our climatic situation today. So the first things first, I always say knowledge is power. Always seek knowledge because knowledge can be passed down, and that knowledge passed down can make a big impact. So always strive to seek knowledge. And I'm actually a published co-author in the four C's. I spoke on climate change with the hope of uh, getting that information, getting that message out there about climate change and whoever areas it lands on. So hopefully you guys can, get access to that book. Pretty sure Dr. Nana is gonna link it. So if you haven't tried it, if you haven't seen it as yet, this is your chance to. So I have mentioned like a bunch of things with climate change, but as as impossible as it seems, like a lot of us travel. How many of us travel often? Like we go on vacations often. We do know that emissions from airplanes are like one of the biggest causes of climate change too. Yeah, right. So there's actually a study which showed that during COVID in 2020, there was a decrease in emissions into the air, and this was due to the fact that everywhere there was basically a lockdown. So nobody was traveling. So there has been a significant decrease in harmful gases in the air. I'd also like to encourage us to use, public transportation. Like instead of having our own private vehicle, like how hard can it be to use public transportation? Like for every person with their own private vehicle, there's like so many gases that are being emitted like constantly. And this is so, I don't know, but I think this is the craziest thing ever because like everybody has vehicles now, and it's getting like the production of vehicles like getting so much more, like it's multiplying as the years go. Um, I feel like I'm just yapping and yapping and yapping about this stuff, but I'd like to get to another point, which is basically reduction of meat consumption. So, how many of us are vegetarians? Not a lot. How many of us like chickens, like beef, like processed foods? All of us, almost all of us. So, I want you to know that if you're gonna eat, you should eat responsibly. I mean, how hard can it be? Because the more we eat meat and the more we eat processed foods, the more we're encouraging climate change. We're encouraging, more production of these stuff. So we know that with the production and from the factories and the manufacturing companies, there's like so many gases emitted into the air. Like I keep mentioning this all the time. Like I hope that this is like basically underscoring how many gases are just being released and polluted into the air. So I'd like to encourage you to ponder upon that. And finally, under this year's theme, planet versus plastics, I'd like you my one of my major points here that I'm going to point out is to say no to single-use plastic. What this means is just say no to plastics because we keep using plastics over and over and over again. And we do realize that plastics is like one of the major causes as well of like, polluting, like it creates like, microplastics. And then there's like, it's a threat to biodiversity. These are the stuff that actually pollute our air to large extents. So instead of plastics, we can use so many things. We can get like like how hard can cloth bags be? Like let's go back way back to the 1800s. Make your own cloth bags and bring back the 1800s, style fashion. Um, so I feel like I've been yapping too much. Are you guys tired? So I'm gonna give you guys a break. I'm gonna give you guys a break right now because I know that this is so much to probably process. So for the sake of creativity, I'm gonna now invite Mika Williams to present his creative piece. Obviously, I'm gonna be back, but for now, let's just spice this up. If you guys are bored, I know you guys are probably bored. I've been yapping way too much. So, Mika Williams is a student of the Bishops High School and he's part of the 4Cs Youth Civility program in collaboration with BlessedGirls. So, I'd like to invite him right now on stage.
Thank you so much, Nadia, for that. Good afternoon, everyone. Today I'll be reciting a poem entitled Earth Day by Jane Yolen. I am the earth, and the earth is me. Each blade of grass, each honey tree, each bit of mud and stick and stone is blood and muscle, skin and bone. And just as I need every bit of me to make my body fit, so earth needs grass and stone and tree and things that grow here naturally. That's why we celebrate this day. That's why across the world we say, as long as life, as dear, as free, I am the earth, and the earth is me. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that piece, Mika. That was creative indeed. So, how many of you guys have enjoyed that poem? Just say hey, yay in the chat. Okay, so now I have another gentleman that's going to be pulled up. I'd like to invite Mr. John Linus. And Mr. John Linus is from all the way from Kenya, and he has this passion and drive that are fueled by, leadership development and environmental sustainability and conservation, and obviously the advocacy for quality education as well. So, a little bit about John is that his impact begins with being an extensive volunteer work. So, he has contributed his time and expertise to organizations like UNEP and UNESCO and the African Union and various other organizations. So his dedication and his love for this field led him to establish the Green World Youth Initiative, which is a platform that was aimed at spearheading leadership development as well as environmental conservation. So now I'm going to invite John, Mr. John Linus, to give his presentation.
Yes, thanks Nadia for that introduction, and also I would like to thank everyone in the call for joining us today for this wonderful conversation that we the youth and also we the people on earth should get to know, and should we need to learn from one another and see how best we can contribute to the world and make world more sustainable. As John Linus, I'm passionate about making changes that impact the world positively by leveraging other youths also through awareness creation, I mean, and also trying to give my best to the world through innovative voluntarism. Innovative voluntarism in that I've been volunteering with a number of organizations advocating for sustainable development goals, and not only sustainable devel- sustainable development goals entails a number of things that all of us need to understand, and climate action is one of them at goal number 13. So there's a connection between these goals, and being that there's connection, we can talk about climate change leaving out eh, advocating for poverty. And so that is why I'm here, and that is why I'm always out to share my ideas, share my work, and also try to bring positive impact to the world. So with that, I've managed to come up with an initiative called Green World Youth. At Green World Youth, we are a global coalition of young change makers that advocate for sustainable development goals, but mostly we amplify what people do at a grassroots level. We do education on climate and also do a number of things that brings positive impact to the world. So with that also I managed to be ranked at position 202 top 500 global positive influencers on climate change. Just because of the small things that we do online, we take them from local background and post them in different social media platforms to create a positive influence to people. So it is a collective responsibility. It is our collective responsibility to people for us to come together, know what is expected of us, and try to bring meaningful impact that will make our future to be sustainable. So it starts at a local background. It starts with a personal responsibility. What do you do to Mother Earth? That is the first question that all of us needs to ask. From sustainable production, sustainable consumption, and also how do we manage our waste, sustainable waste management. So we try to create awareness. We tell the people that what we need to do is this and that. This doing this and this is bad, and it is good for everybody to be well knowledge and know that if we do these practices, there will create a negative impact to the world. Just like we need to tell people that for today we are saying no to plastics. Why do we need to tell people that they need not to use plastics? Because one, while we use these plastics, then products that they go back to the oceans, you know, in the oceans they'll find animals like fish, and in in turn, the animals that are in the lakes, for instance, the fish, we are the people who are going to consume this fish. And at the end of it, we find that our life expectancy reduces because, if we eat plastics, what are the impact of plastic on our body? So there is a nexus between climate change and also health. So we need to take care of our environment. We need to take care of everything in our surrounding. So, what are the roles of youths in this climate action? We know that youths are the largest percentage in the world, and we are the most active people, both on social media, both engagement in different spaces. So we have the energy. But what we need also from our elders and people who are n- with us in these spaces is that we need guidance. We know that we have the energy to run faster, but our elders are the people who knows the road. So they are the people to direct us. If we do this and this, will make our world to be more sustainable. Apart from that, we are actively in social media. How best can we use our social media platforms to create meaningful contribution to the earth? One, we know that not all of us can advocate for climate action. We have different sustainable development goals. Let's talk about, let's say, equality education. How can we get education? Through social media, you can use your social media platform to amplify the need for people to be educated. Because if all of us are educated, we know that there will be people will be less people will be destroying the environment. And also, if we use our social media click responsibly, we can create awareness that these things exist. There are a number of people outside here who doesn't know that there exists climate change. That is why we are there. There are a number of young activists outside there, and they're making meaningful impact. And I can't wait even to learn from them. I know there are a number of them watching us online. If they share with me the idea, I share the idea, and in doing that, idea sharing creates knowledge. You know, I'll be able to know what is expected of me, and with that, we need to send ourselves into different spaces to learn. Just like we must think holistic. It is, if we think holistic, we can't think in one way. That I can't only advocate for climate action without advocating for education, because I need to get to know knowledge about behind climate action, and I need to know that there is climate change that is happening. If there is climate crisis, what should I do? How which measures should I use to advocate for climate change? And also, what I can say that there are a lot of I've been participating in a lot of discussion in line with climate and sustainability. Just a few months ago, in the last month, we were at United Nations Environmental Assembly. We have a number of youths who came on board to discuss these issues, because we all have a collective responsibility. If we fail to be in these spaces, who will do them? We can't hold our governments accountable. We can't say that, for instance, we see a number of logging taking place in our forests. What is our responsibility as a young activist? Because if we don't hold them accountable, the future is us who will suffer in the future. Yeah, so we must hold our government accountable, and not only our government accountable, we also need to hold the industries accountable. What is their emissions? They emit gases to the environment. How do they cap these gases that they emit to the environment? Are they paying carbon credits, or are they doing all things that are required to be done? Are they following the regulations that are expected of them? So it is us to make noise. We might be seen online making noise, but these noises, if I make noise from this side, let's say Kenya, you make noise from, say, let's say Uganda or South Africa or in USA or in Canada, this amplification of our voice will in turn make them know that there are people seeing the bad things we are doing, and we need to divert. Just like, another thing that I used to do is to write climate reviews to those who do good to the environment. We give climate love to those who do good to the environment. If you're doing something good to the environment, we appreciate you. We write some good notes about what you're doing. We say that this person is in this part of the world doing this amazing work. You need to be congratulated. Something like that. That gives motivation to that person. Another thing that I do also to write post on sustainability. We do that. For instance, I have an initiative called Back to Eden Initiative. What is Back to Eden Initiative? Back to Eden Initiative is it aimed in planting fruit trees. Planting fruit trees for environmental conservation, food security, and also health gain. Fruits are protective food. So if we do plant fruit trees, we will gain a lot of things from them. So this is why we do talk a lot, we do speak a lot online, we do make a lot of noise for people to know that this thing is needed to be done. And also, the world will only know that you are capable of doing something if you are visible you build your portfolio online on social media. Like, if I'm not present online, nobody will know that I'm able to make a lot of noise online. If I'm not able to do, not only online, if I'm not able to engage youths or engage peers on these activities, how will the world knows that we need to do these things? So it is our joint effort, it is our collective responsibility to make our impact be felt. So don't let somebody tell you that you can't. It is you that make it. Regardless of the small efforts that you make, all these efforts, if you combine them collectively, bring this if impact together, it comes to a bigger thing. And we can't wait to innovate for our planet. Innovate in that we come up with innovative solution. For instance, how can we curb this, prevent use of plastics? We can come up with the innovative solution. We come up with using leather, using things like paper and other activities to make things instead of using plastics to make these things. I've seen a number of youths and many innovative young change makers doing amazing work outside there through there, and they earn from the innovative solutions. For instance, we have a team in Kenya that made sanitary towels using banana fiber. You see, those are the things that we are able to do, we are capable to do, and we need to tell the world that these things can be done. And what we need to do is to ask them for support. If they feel like helping us, we'll be ready to work with them. But we can't also force them to work with us. If they see value in us, they will come and tell us to share our value. And we are ready as youths to tap our value and share our value to the world to make the world more sustainable, because we will be accountable for the future. You know, one day the future will, you will be asked, did you have some brains to tell? How will you say that you had some brains when you are now older? Maybe when you grow old, we can't be youths all the times, and maybe in future we'll be old. How will we tell people that we were able to do this and this and this while we were youthful and we had energy? So it is now that we do these things. It is now that we act more than ever. It is now that we need to showcase our ideas. It is now that we need to learn, and it is now that we need to do all these things that are possible. If we keep on postponing things, we'll end up doing nothing. And if we keep on waiting for our government to help us, they will do nothing. I can tell you, I've done a lot of things. I've not received any support from the government, but I can't complain because I know that I'm doing these things for Mother Earth. If the government will, they might support, they might give you environment to do all these things that you're doing, but financially, most of the government doesn't support financially. That is the truth of the matter. And if you wait for them to support you financially, that is like you are dreaming. They will promise a number of things. They will tell you that we'll do this, we'll do this, we'll do this, and at the end of the day, they won't do it. Trust me, they will appreciate you of the work you are doing, but coming on board to support you directly is very tough for them. I know that there are a number of well-wishers outside there. They help, but we can't trust the government to come on board to give us support. But if they are ready to support us, we are ready to join hands together to make our Mother Earth better. So any youth outside there, don't feel that you are not incorporated by the government. We need to do these things regardless of whether the government incorporates us or whether they don't incorporate us. We need to see these things done. So we are ready to join hands, ready to share our ideas, and ready to make meaningful impact to the society, and not only the society, but to the world. But first, we need to impact our local society. What are you doing at your local grassroots? Yet, yes, you are a student, you are a youth. What are you able to do? We can't keep on complaining each and every time, but we need also to do something, at least that people can say that you have done this and this. We can able to support you in doing this and this, and that is the way we can grow together. So, with those many remarks, I'm ready to learn from everyone. I'm ready to share my ideas where needed, and I'm ready to get any support. If somebody needs to support our initiatives, well and good. We accept all supports on board. If there's somebody who is ready to support our initiative, who is ready to learn from us, who is ready to know what we are doing at our respective places, who is ready to tell us what they are doing so that we amplify also what they are doing in different social media platforms, so that the world knows that this person doing this thing at this place. So I'm humbled to be brought on board. I'm humbled to learn from other speakers, and I'm ready to hear from any other person who is listening in this live, and we can grow together. Trust me, we have solutions, and we are the solution providers to world problems. So with those many remarks, let me go get back to Nadia, so that if there is any other question or any other addition I'll add when the time comes. So back to you, Nadia.
Thank you so much for that presentation, John. I really like your initiative, especially the one where you said, the planting and planting fruit trees. I think that's really good. Like, you did mention ways in which we can, mitigate, and we can refrain from, the stuff that actually harm our environment. And I really like the fact that you pointed out that we can create our own food instead of, like, buying stuff, especially fertilized stuff, processed stuff, manufactured stuff. So I think it is important to highlight, that not just planting our own stuff and creating our own food is not just, it's good for us in the sense that it's simpler, it's cheaper, it's healthier, rather than, just buying stuff, harming ourselves and our planets. Like, it's you're losing both ways. So I really like your presentation. Um, at this point, does our audience have any questions for us at all? We'd like to hear from you. Just put it in the chat or anything. Somebody is saying they like how you highlighted the health issues. Um, so one thing that I also want to mention is our mental health with climate change. Everything is interrelated. When we speak of climate change, not everybody knows that climate change is just a climatic issue, but it's also linked to our mental health. Like, I've read numerous articles where, I've seen Australians articles, I've seen Europeans articles, I've seen Americans articles. Everybody is just so overwhelmed, and everybody is just so stressed and concerned. Some people even asked, how are they going to bring kids into the world, because they're worried for the future. What is the world going to be like 50, 100 years from now? What is it going to be like? Because we are destroying it as we go, and we're destroying our future kids and grandkids and great grandkids lives. And it's just really, really sad to think of. So I like how you highlighted, John, that it is our responsibility. It is a collective responsibility, and I think we should act upon that, because this is a global problem, and a global problem needs a global solution. So I think consumerism also comes in. What are your thoughts on consumerism? Hello? Am I being heard? Let me know if I'm being heard.
You're fine. We can hear you. John, are you there?
Yes, I'm there. I'm there.
Okay, she was asking your thoughts on consumerism. And I think there was another question about plastics and food.
Yeah, I was saying that first I was saying that we need sustainable consumption and production. In that, for instance, we need to know what we consume. Are they healthy? And also, we need to know wastage of food also is not part of solving the problem. You need to consume food that is enough, not to mean that it says that you don't use food over waste food, yeah. And any other thing that you need to consume meals that are healthier, yeah. That is what I can say about sustainable consumption. You need to eat, avoid wastage of food, yeah, to mean that, in sense that, we try to make the world to be sustainable, in that there are people who are less fortunate to get food. So we need to conserve, to mean to eat food, proportionately. How can I say? I don't know the right term to use, but I know to avoid wastage of food, in simple terms here.
I also feel like, with respect to consumerism, I also feel like we should hold, the heads of these organizations, accountable, because, um, so we don't only eat, like in terms of consuming, we don't only eat, we buy a bunch of stuff, we buy clothing, we buy shoes, we buy a bunch of stuff. So we need to be, a bit conscious of who we're buying from, and we should just, support the organizations that are ethical and, that actually have a heart towards the environment, because a lot of people, a lot of factories and these, manufacturing places, they use lead and mercury, and they're very unethical in what they do. So I think that it is important, because I think, like, as people, we have power. We may feel that, we're just an ordinary man or an ordinary woman just out there in a world full of big people, but that is not the truth. The truth is that the truth is actually that these organizations actually depend on us. So if they're going to depend on us to support them, if we don't support them, they flop. So if we pressure them to do the right thing, then obviously we are going to succeed in making Earth a better place. So I think we need to apply pressure. That's one of the key points. We apply pressure as consumers. We apply pressure to the companies, and if they don't, have what our goals align with, boycott. Simple. It's that simple. Boycott their products. Boycott them. So, uh, yeah.
I can see there is also another question that, I've been asked about the project that I'm doing right now. Right now, we are been doing a lot of projects, and we are still doing a lot of projects. One of the projects that we are doing is that we grow trees in tree nursery. We've partnered with a friend, and a colleague also is in environmental space, and currently we have over 100,000 of tree seedlings that are ready for planting. Though also we face a lot of challenges in line with the selling the trees for people to buy them. We are trying to produce them also to sell them, so that we can sustain our project. And the other project that we are doing is that, me together with other fellow activists from the university that I'm learning at, we always do a lot of projects in line with climate education. We pay a visit to institutions, primary schools and secondary schools, where we do climate advocacy. We engage in sexual reproductive health conversations, where we as students, we contribute to buying sanitary towels to young late girls in schools. We go there, we discuss with them a lot of things in line with sustainability. And in doing that, a number of people appreciate what we are doing. A number of people are congratulating us on what we are doing. And we can't stop doing that, because we know what we want. We want a sustainable world. And what we also need is support from many other persons, support in line that you just even motivating somebody support, regardless of it doesn't matter that you give financial support. Is when you support somebody. Motivation is also one of the support that you can give to an activist. So we need joint hands, and each one of us can do something, regardless of where they are. Just try the little thing that you do count. Doing I said earlier that we can't all be in space of climate change. In climate activism, you can equally be advocate for quality education, just like this year's theme for Africa is Africa Year for Education. Africa Union is amplifying the need for education. So we have all of our responsibility to do. So just from where you are, think of something, do it, and start doing it right now. Because we don't, if you wait for some other time, then you'll find that you won't be doing it. So those are the project that we are doing right now, and we are ready to implement others also in line with waste management, whereby I'm planning to a project, though it is still on the ideation stage, whereby we visit technical institution, we tell them how they can manage waste in line with those who are in electrical department, those who are in doing civil and automotive department, to tell them on how waste can be managed, I mean. So those are the projects that we are currently doing, and we are also planning to do. Yeah.
Yeah. I like how you pointed out so many projects. Like, I mean, you're doing the literal most in ensuring, environmental sustainability. Um, Somebody is asking, how can we help as volunteers? Like, what can we do? Like, I'd like to. Do you have social platforms? You can probably link them here so everybody can give a hand and be a part of your initiative.
Yeah, definitely. I've seen a question first about waste management. I would like to answer that before I go to the other question. In line with in every production, there is materials that are removed as end products, and from a production site. So just like when you go to maybe a garage, you'll find that when you took your vehicle in the garage, some parts might be worn out and they need to be removed from your car. So these parts, how are we going to dispose these parts that are worn out from the vehicle? That is what we discuss with them. Tell them that how can when you are in electric field, how can we manage these waste product, e-waste, so that they don't impact the lives of people. They don't contaminate water, they don't go back to the water, they don't go back to where people are cooking. How do we do this? So these are the knowledge that we need to impact learners or people, trainers or trainees, I mean, who are in technical institution, for them to know the knowledge that if these people, these things, this waste material goes to the water source, water bodies, there's a great impact on them. So how will we manage them? How will we make sure that they don't go back or pollute the environment? So that is what I mean by sustainable waste management. That is how I defined it. Another thing is that we have a lot of social media platform. Not a lot. Have social media platform. I'm available on X, where my social media handle is at John Lena Storm 1. And also, I'm available on LinkedIn, where we can equally connect with a number of people, learn from what they're doing in their platforms, and grow together. So, being visible on social media, yeah, that one. Being visible on social media is very crucial because it tells people that you exist, and it tells people that what are you doing. So, it also matter what you post, because if you post something that will create, that might, it is also good to know what you are clicking responsibly. What are you posting? Can it create incitement? Something like that. So that is how I can handle that question. So if there is other question, I'll be able to answer. Back to you, Nadia.
Yeah, thank you, John. I hope that answers the questions that were asked in the comment section. And I hope that your project serves. I'm pretty sure your projects, I should say, served as an inspiration to making the world a better place, creating a greener environment, as we should all try to do. So at this point, do we have any questions, any comments, any concerns, anything else that would like to be answered from the audience? Do let us know.
I see Micah is here. Is there anything he would like to add to the discussion or any questions for John or Nadia?
I'm assuming not.
Okay. All right. Well, I think we're all set. I'll back away. I'll turn it back over to you. Thank you so much, John, for giving so much information and inspiration, and even just sharing about the connectivity. Like we all are one, you know? We all can do something. Let's just take action today. So that was great. Thank you so much.
Humbled.
So, as we arrive the closing session of this program, I just want to remind you all that this should be a wake up call. Everything that is happening around the world should be a wake up call. So I want to remind you also that we all have a responsibility towards everything, and the earth is also one. And if we fulfill nature's wish of being taken care of, she is also going to take care of us. Let's not forget that. And um, I don't want any one of you to feel that you're just a minor in the world, because there's this famous quote that says, "It's just one straw," said 8 billion people. So it's just one straw, but everybody is saying that. So imagine if you were to say, if you as an individual were to say that, okay, I'm not going to use this plastic straw. There are so many other people. If everyone was to collectively do that, a lot of would save the world. Would literally save the world. Um, so as I head towards the end of this event, I'd like to encourage you to join the movement, the climate change journey, and the movement into making the world a better place. So as our Youth Civility Global Earth Day celebration finally comes to an end, I want to say thank you, heartfelt thank you to each and every one of you for your participation, for your contributions, for your unwavering commitment and your support in creating positive change. So today we have explored the interconnectedness between youth civility, climate action, and sustainability. John did highlight that we can't, just think of climate change and climate action without youths, without people, because obviously we're people that are going to be, enforcing those, especially our youths. So we have heard inspiring stories, we have gained valuable insights, and we're united in our shared mission to protect our planet and conserve Mother Nature, as well as empowering future generations. So this is our reminder that our journey does not end here at the end of this program. It does not end on Earth Day. It does not end. It does not end at all. So I invite you to join us in the Four Cs Youth Civility Movement. If you guys haven't known that already, there's a Four Cs Youth Civility Movement where we're dedicated to compassion, courage, collaboration, change. And we're looking at, the major things, the major aspects like climate change, community, civility, creativity, because we believe that together we can make our planet a better place. We can impact, we can inspire others, especially our younger generations that are upcoming, that are watching us and learning from us. So we should definitely, be their role models and set the example and lead the way. So you can get involved by starting a club. So if you wish, you can be a part of the Four Cs Youth Civility Movement at your school. Uh, yeah, these are just some of the things. So I'm gonna share some links in the comment section. Um, yeah, so do join us in our social media platforms and everything else at Blessed Girls NJ. We also have like this other organization which is called the BHS Four Cs Volunteerism Club right here based in Guyana. And we'd be delighted to welcome you all with open arms, and just answer any questions you have, any comments, and overall just be happy to collaborate with you and work towards making a positive change and impact. So thank you all for being a part of this incredible journey. And let's continue to, just stand alone and advocate for change, build a world that reflects our values of compassion, of courage, and positive change. So thank you guys for listening so much. And that brings us to the end of our program today.